So when I click on assigned here, it is so actually assigned to Srinivas, Narendra, and Prasad, and these guys, like 5 to 6 guys. But it is not sure, they are not receiving, they were not receiving email. So this can be a functional issue or it can be a performance issue as well. Understood, guys? Right. So testing chestara, does it mean that they did not do testing? No, they will do testing. For every release, they will do testing. Whenever some new code is released, they will do testing. But maybe they missed it, or say what they do is some guys they don't do testing properly. Some functional testing guys may not be doing testing properly and they missed it, right? So there is some defect. This is a defect which leaked into, or this is an issue which leaked into production. Okay. And the issues that leaked into production are called as defects. This is one of the common interview question. What is the for software testing? So what is the difference between bug and defect? Bug and a defect. This is one of the common interview question. What is the difference between a bug and a defect? So bugs are something.
But sorry, you are saving this info in October batch class notes.
So bugs are issues found in the testing phase. If an issue is found in the testing phase, right, that is called as a bug. This is one of the important interview question, guys. Bugs are issues identified in testing phase. Okay. So those are called as bugs. Defects and defect means issues identified in production. This is called as a defect, right? So some issue leaked into production, right? So this is called as defect leakage on top. This defect leakage should be as less as possible. So some issue leaked into production because of some improper testing. Understood, guys? So why? Because when I see here in assigned, right, it is clearly showing these guys' names. It was showing as assigned. Yes or no? Test test not started in Jubison, but they did not. They were saying that they did not receive an email. So let's wait till today and see if you still did not receive it, right? So I will, Srinivas shared a screenshot, right? I'll raise we need to raise an issue with this, with this team. Okay. We'll raise a production issue or we'll raise a defect with their application. If you send an email, right, they will work on support team will be, see, this is where, your maintenance comes into picture. You remember like the different phases in software development life cycle?
Yes.
Able to hear me, guys? So once the application goes to production, there will be maintenance phase, right? We had discussed it already, isn't it? So this is what this is what happens in the maintenance phase. In the maintenance phase, like there will be users. I mean, end users will be using the application, and there will be separate testing team, and there will be support managers. Suppose if you raise a ticket, or if you send an email, escalation email to the organization, right? The support team will be working on it. They will make sure that the issue is fixed. It is their issue, their responsibility to get that issue fixed, right? And for us, what is the important learning from here is this is one important entry question. What is the difference between bug and a defect? So bugs are issues which are found in the testing phase. If some issue is found identified in the testing phase itself and fixed, right, that is called as a bug. Whereas defects are issues identified in the production. Clear, guys? And there are some defects that leaked into production, that is called as defect leakage. In testing projects, they'll measure the defect leakage, how many defects leaked into production. That will be measured in every sprint, and the corresponding team will be made responsible. Understood, guys? So they will make whoever tested this particular module, right, they will be made responsible for this. Understood, guys? And up to 1% of the errors are okay, acceptable. 1% of issues are acceptable, or 1% of errors are acceptable. So please wait till the end of the day, and if you still did not receive an email, or we'll wait, we'll see for another 1 hour. If you don't receive like any email, I will do one thing. So I will add one of my mail ID also as a student, and let me check from my side. So you'll receive an email with subject line as mock test. To student. Okay. So and I'll give my mail ID. Admin at MGMITTraining. Mobile number can't be added as student. Okay. Because it is already added. That's why like it's saying can't be added as a student. It is already added as a student. Okay. So it is okay. Already this is already added. The other one is it is saying that it can't be added. I'll do one thing. I have one more number. Okay. Now I will I will assign this test to this student. Okay, test student, and let me check if it is a one-off issue or assign. Click on assign, and then test student. So, okay, and now this is the mail ID that to which I need to get. Okay, so in the last session we discussed about request structure and response structure and status codes, right? And that's where we stopped, right? So any queries on those concepts, guys? Status codes, request, HTTP request, response, and response codes. We are done with this response codes also. Okay. Now, SQL concepts, we'll discuss this later. These CRUD operations and, SQL basic queries and these transaction commit rollback, we can discuss it later. Not important at this moment. Now let's move on to the next one. There are some, like if you observe here, like I had shared this PPT, I had shared this Word document, I had shared this training content to those who paid fees and confirmed they're joining us. Did everyone receive it? Or let me know if someone did not receive it.
Myself, sir.
Narendra and Prasad, I am meant to share to you, right? Class notes document, class notes
Yes.
document. Okay. Training material, I need to share it to Narendra and Prasad. Anyone else? Class notes document. Did I share class notes document?
No. Class
Batch
note
tracker sheet.
document.
Batch tracker sheet.
Yeah, batch tracker sheet I got.
Okay.
Yes, some days before I got the backtrack.
Screenshots in the. I had kept some screenshots, which I faced in in production, guys. Observe if you observe here, this is one error screenshot, which is showing response code as 522 connection timeout, right? You see some, there is a connection timeout, and the corresponding response code or status code is 522, right? And this is for website Frogel testing, right? So, and if you see the, it is showing the workflow here. Observe here, browser is working. There is no issue on the browser, and their server is in Singapore, it seems, right? Whereas like the main host or the server on which the application is running is down for some reason, right? So that is why like we are not seeing the web page, but we are seeing a connection timeout or connection timeout, right? So this is one response code, 522. Remember, this is 522 indicates a connection timeout. I'll write it down here. 522. This is another common issue. And what is the reason for what is the response message for this connection timed out? And let me show you the same website, which it should be working now, right? So you see here, this website is working, right? Frogeltesting.com is working. And by the way, Frogel testing, if you remember, or if you joined my demo session, Frogel testing was established by one of my ex-manager in Bank of America. I worked with him under his team. He was my mentor or manager in Bank of America. Okay. So he is the CEO or founder of this Frogel testing. Okay. And like on one fine day, like when the website was down for some maintenance. At the same time, when I tried to access that website, I got that response code of 522. And I captured it to show it to you. So why I'm explaining this is in interviews, they will ask you what are the different what are the different response codes that you faced in your experience. Okay. So when you are working on some projects also, you may get these kind of issues. So you need to you need to remember at least 5 to 10 response codes. There are few more response codes that I had captured here. See, observe here, error 520. I got this for online.hdfc.com/inet, right? This is another HDFC website, and I got a 520 response code. And all these response codes that start with number 5. See, this is another response code, but the response number is response code is 1016 or 530. Both are same. 530 or 1016 are same. And all these response code that start with number 5, what does they denote or what does they indicate?
Server side error.
Server side error. So we are getting these issues because of some server side issue, right? So our request is, like whatever request we had sent, that is fine. There is no issue on the client side. However, there is some server side issue which is causing that, like application is not loading because of some server side issue. And you get a response code that start with number 5 usually. Okay. Now any queries before we move to the next slide? So in interviews, they will ask you, can you mention can you list down some response codes that you frequently encountered or you faced in your experience, right? Or, like particularly those who are having experience, right? You should be prepared for this question. You should remember at least 5 to 10 response codes, at least 5, minimum 5 response code. You need to remember minimum 5 response codes. Okay. Out of these, how many are these? These are 10 or 12. You need to remember at least 5 to 10 out of this for interview purpose. Clear, guys? Now, shall we move to the next slide?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's move on to the next slide. Now, why do we require see, observe, if you remember, functional testing can be done without, without using a tool or by using a tool as well. Okay. Functional testing can be done either by using a tool like automation testing tool like Selenium or Tosca or Playwright, or without if you are doing functional testing without using any tool, that is called as manual testing. Clear, guys? We had discussed this in the demo sessions in the first week. But if you are using any automation tool like Selenium or Tosca or Playwright, we call it as automation testing. If you are using any testing tool for doing functional testing, we call it as automation testing. Clear, guys? Now, can we do this performance testing manually? Similarly, can we do this performance testing manually? Right? There is a answer is a big no. Answer is a big no. If you want to do performance testing manually, it is next to impossible. The reason is performance testing. How do we do what is performance testing? We already discussed it, right? You remember remember what is performance testing or how do we do performance testing?
Yes,
We
Pawan.
put
Right.
user load.
Right. We test the application under the target user load, isn't it? We test the application under target user load. And many applications, lot of applications will have user load in, thousands or hundreds or thousands or lakhs, isn't it? Suppose, we discussed IRCTC example, or, I had shown you GHMC website example. Let's say GHMC website displays some numbers, right? How many users are accessing the application will be displayed by GHMC website. Observe here, there are 28,500 users currently using this website. Did you see this? Did you check this website anytime after that later on? I am showing this website. I had shown this website couple of times to you, right? Did you check that website? Please check it in the afternoon time today at 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock, right? You'll see around 40,000 users. Okay. Now, if you want to do performance testing, for thousands of users, we cannot, it's very difficult or it's next to impossible to engage those many number of testers, right? Performance testing is something which we do with hundreds or thousands of users or lakhs of users, even lakhs of users. But if you want to do manually without using any tool, we need to engage those many number of testers. We need to engage those many number of machines, which is quite difficult. Yes or no? Next to impossible. Yes or no? Suppose if you want to do performance testing with 1 lakh users, we cannot engage 1 lakh testers and 1 lakh machines, isn't it? And even though you are able to engage them, it will be very difficult to do the testing, and if it will be very difficult to collect the response time from each machine. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? So manual load testing is problematic, or manual load testing is next to impossible. Okay. So because it's very difficult to to first engage those many number of machines. It's very difficult to engage those many number of resources and those many number of machines. And even if you are able to engage, it is very difficult to synchronize all the users like this. All of you click the go button again, and there should be someone who should be coordinating. But still, like some people may not be, clicking the login button or, go button, isn't it? And even if you are able to do that, it's very difficult to collect and analyze the results from thousands of or hundreds of thousands of machines. And again, if you want to repeat the test also, it will be very difficult. So manual load testing is always problematic or next to impossible. So clear so far? We cannot, we cannot achieve test repeatability, or we cannot synchronize the users, or we cannot collect and analyze the results. If you want to do, see, if you want to test with 5 or 10 users, that's fine. You can do that. But if you want to test with, if you want to do performance testing with hundreds of users or thousands of users, it's very difficult to achieve that task, isn't it? So that is why we use some performance testing tool like LoadRunner or JMeter or NeoLoad. There are tens of performance testing tools, guys. By the way, there are there are tens of performance testing tools. What are those? I have a list over here. We have LoadRunner. LoadRunner is which is a licensed tool, and we have a open source tool called JMeter, and then NeoLoad, which is another licensed tool. K6 is another tool. WebLoad, Silk Performer, IBM RPT, Gatling, Locust Grinder. There are tens of tools. Okay, you should know at least what all are the performance testing tools. Whether you learn one tool, LoadRunner or JMeter, but you should know the other tools as well. You should know their names as well. Names at least. Understood, guys? I'll tell you some funny story. So, like last year or before last year, one guy attended, one guy took training in Amirpet, not with us, not in our institute. One guy took training in some Amirpet institute, and, he want to try with, fake experience, right? He prepared a 3 years experience CV, it seems, and company petal kada, so he has to mention some company name, right? So he kept IBM, it seems, in the CV. He claimed that he was working for IBM. Okay. And he kept, he worked on JMeter or LoadRunner. Understood, guys? Understood the scenario?
Yes, sir.
Right? And now, the funny thing is they don't know except LoadRunner and JMeter. JMeter, LoadRunner are very popular. Or in fact, NeoLoad is also popular in the last, 3 to 4 years. NeoLoad is also gaining market share from the past 3 to 4 years. So these tools are very famous. NeoLoad, LoadRunner, and JMeter are very famous. And he kept experience on JMeter and LoadRunner. Now, but he kept the company name as, IBM Medicines. Now, interviewer asked, interviewer was one of my friend actually. I mean, his story, I got to know this story about from him only. Interviewer name is Krishna Mohan. He's one of my ex-manager in Applabs. Okay. You'll see his name somewhere here. Yes. So these are two managers, my ex-managers in Applabs, my first company. And now this interview, like మనం ఈ స్టోరీలో చెప్పుకునే interview, this guy is taking that interview, it seems, Krishna Mohanan. Right? Okay, he took the CV, he saw the CV, and like, okay, you are working for IBM. So this guy is, my manager was working in DXC, right? DXC లో he's working as a manager now, delivery manager. Got it? So ఇతను ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేస్తున్నాడు ఈ అమీర్పేట్ స్టూడెంట్ ని, రైట్? అండ్ నౌ IBM చూసి కంపెనీ, ఆన్ సీయింగ్ ద కంపెనీ IBM in his CV, right? He asked, like, "Oh, can you tell me what are the various performance testing tools in the market?" And he said LoadRunner and JMeter, that's it. Now interviewer is asking, "No, I want some more tools, that are there in the market." This guy said, "No, I don't know any tool." Understood, guys? This guy told that he doesn't know any other tool apart from LoadRunner and JMeter. Then interviewer asked, like, IBM has its own tool. IBM has developed its own tool. Do you know that name? Right? But that guy was unable to answer that question, it seems. But actually, IBM, IBM is having its own tool called RPT, which is another performance testing tool. And this guy kept 3 years experience in IBM, but he doesn't know what is the performance testing tool developed by IBM, right? And that was the last question. And interviewer, understood that this guy is fake experience guy and stopped and blocked, it seems. He blocked that profile from, in that company, in that organization. You understood, guys? So you should know what are the other tools in the market, at least their names. That is why I had listed out these performance testing tools in the market. LoadRunner, JMeter, NeoLoad are the most popular tools nowadays, right? You should know, must and should, everyone should know these tools, right? Apart from that, you have some more tools like K6, WebLoad, SIL-Performer, IBM RPT, where RPT stands for Rational Performance Tester, and then Gatling, Locust, Grinder, Load Ninja, Load View, Load UI Pro, etc. You need not learn all the tools, but you should know at least their names. Understood, guys? Guys, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how funny it is, like someone keeping experience in IBM, but who doesn't know what is the performance testing tool developed by IBM itself, right? So people do this kind of stupid mistakes. Some people do without this kind of, these kind of stupid mistakes because of lack of proper guidance, right? IBM petnappudu, definitely he should know the performance tool developed by his company, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, popular tools in the market are LoadRunner and JMeter, and then NeoLoad. And this is how we do performance testing. This is the LoadRunner architecture. Okay. So basically what we do if you want to do performance testing with any tool, right? First we collect what are the critical business flows of the application from the client. We collect some information like what are the critical business flows of that application, right? And we develop, once we, the client will provide this information, what are the critical business flows of the application, and then we will develop one script for each one of them. We'll develop one script for each one of them, right? So we, suppose these are the critical business flows of a net banking application, and you are supposed to do performance testing for that net banking application. First thing is you need to develop one script for each of those critical business flows, right? And then we will run all the scripts together. Okay, we'll run all the scripts, like from a machine called controller machine, right? And LoadRunner, particularly LoadRunner, when you install LoadRunner, you'll get 3 components installed on your machine. One is virtual user generator. This is one component that you get when you install LoadRunner, right? We'll do one thing. Let me sort by date modified. Okay, so that all these components come together. Did they come together? No. Okay, they're not coming together. Okay, so this is one component when you install LoadRunner. This is one component that you get called virtual user generator. Okay, so in short, this is called as VUgen, and VUgen is used for generating the scripts. Okay, Vfusion is used for generating the scripts. Let me write it down here. This LoadRunner terminology. Control Enter. So these are the important LoadRunner components. Another important interview question, guys. What are the important LoadRunner components? Okay. And which version are you using currently? These are some interview questions that you can expect. So first component is Vfusion is one component. Another component is controller. The third component is analysis component. So these are the three main components, LoadRunner, three main components of LoadRunner. What are those? Vfusion. This is used to create our script or to record the script. Remember, we need not write any code from scratch. We need not write any code to create a script. But we need to record the script. We'll record the script and create the script. And then controller component is used for test executions. So this controller component is used for text executions. And analysis component is to analyze the test results. Analyze the test results. Once you complete your performance testing, to analyze the test results, we use this analysis component. Now, if you search in, once you install LoadRunner, if you search for LoadRunner, you'll get, all the components you see here. LoadRunner, this is Vfusion. And then, you'll also get, license, LoadRunner license, utility, etc., etc. Usually, okay, if you type LoadRunner, search LoadRunner here, okay. LoadRunner file folder in pictures. This one, sorry guys, not this one. So actually in Windows 10, it used to show like that. If you search for LoadRunner, it will show all the LoadRunner components. Somehow here it is not showing those components in Windows 11. But these are the three main components of LoadRunner. Apart from that, you have some other components also. But Vfusion is used for scripting to create our scripts, right? And then second component is controller to do the test executions. And that is what you are seeing here. So LoadRunner, there is a component called LoadRunner controller, and there are few more important components called load generators or LG. LG stands for load generator, which are used to generate the load. What is meant by a load generator? Machines use it to run the PT's performance testing scripts and generate load. Generate user load means generate user load on the application. These are called as load generator machines, right? So these are the main components in LoadRunner. And this is how we do performance testing in LoadRunner. We will run the test from a controller machine, and we will use load generator machines to actually the scripts will be actually running from these load generator machines, and these scripts will be generating virtual users. Okay, read the 4 points under in this diagram. Controller is a central console from which the load test is managed and monitored. And if you read the second point, thousands of virtual users perform real life transactions on a system to emulate production traffic. Thousands of virtual users. We don't engage real users when you are doing performance testing. We will create virtual users. They are not real users, but they are virtual users. And how do we generate those virtual users is? Yes. How do we generate those virtual users, guys?
By using threads.
By running the scripts. Yes, we first create the scripts and we run those scripts. Run those scripts to generate the virtual users. And what does those virtual users does? They perform real life transactions on the application to emulate the production traffic, to emulate or to simulate. Emulate or simulate, both are same. Okay. To simulate production traffic, production traffic means whatever real users do in the production environment or live environment, those transactions will be simulated by the virtual users, right? Those are virtual users, that's why they are shown in blue color, right? So there are, you can see that in this diagram we have 5 virtual users who are generating load on the application under test. And now let me zoom in, let me go to slideshow mode. So observe here, this is your application under test. And this architecture diagram is showing you one web server. You see a spider web here, right? First you see a spider web, all the user load is going to the web server, and then this is your application server, and this is a database server. This is the database server symbol or logo. Understood, guys? This is the database server symbol, right? You know that, like those who are from computers background, you might have seen the diagram in your academics when you studied those database concepts. Yes or no? How many of you know that icon?
Yes,
Yeah,
cylindrical structure.
Okay. Right. So, this is the first box represents web server, and then second box with a gear symbol on it represents app server, and then and then the database server is represented by that database symbol. Okay, so this is your application under test, whatever you want to do performance testing. And then you also need to not only you not only need to run the scripts, but we will monitor those servers. We will monitor the CPU utilization, memory utilization, how is the CPU utilization, memory utilization on the servers. And we will to monitor, and we will collect the monitoring data, and also we'll collect the results, we'll collect the test results, and results are stored in a database repository. Let me use Spotlight. So the fourth point, I'm reading the fourth point. Results are stored in a database repository, allowing users to generate reports and perform analysis. We'll discuss this in detail and in the coming up sessions. Okay. So any queries for now, or do you have any queries?
no, Pawan.
No, sir.
Okay. Right. So this is how we do load performance testing with LoadRunner. Okay. And this is the architecture diagram. Next one is the architecture diagram of JMeter. Okay. Let me show you that. And LoadRunner is a licensed tool, and JMeter is a open source tool, right? JMeter is an open source tool, and this is how JMeter works. We'll discuss this later once we go to, as this batch is for LoadRunner, we will focus more on LoadRunner. But this is how JMeter works. And now, LoadRunner and JMeter are the major tools in the market. First comes LoadRunner, and then JMeter. Okay. LoadRunner is a licensed tool. And now, if you want to practice now, see, it is a license tool. But if you want to practice, how can we practice? So LoadRunner provides a trial version, and we call any trial version called as community edition. We call it as a community edition. This is nothing but a trial version. Community edition means nothing but trial version. Okay. JMeter is an open source tool. So anyone can download open source. JMeter is an open source tool. So anyone can download from their website, from their official website of JMeter. Okay. So if you search for Apache JMeter, if you search for Apache JMeter, it will take you to the first website is the official website of JMeter, jmeter.apache.org. You can download the tool from here. This is the latest version of JMeter. Whereas for LoadRunner, if you want to download LoadRunner, if you Google search download LoadRunner, right? It will ask you to, you see this microfocus.com, you see this microfocus.com free trial. If you go to this website to download LoadRunner, it will ask for a official email ID. Observe here. So you can enter your first name, last name, country, right? And you enter your phone number here. So for downloading LoadRunner trial version, guys, or free trial version, right? So if you fill all this data and you need to enter some company name, and observe here, you need to enter business email. If you enter Gmail, it won't accept it. Understood, guys? If you enter Gmail, those Gmail IDs are not accepted. If you see, observe here, if I type Gmail, and what is it saying? This form requires a valid business or student email. Student email means some, university email or something. Okay. Or you require a valid business email. Business email means this Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Rediff Mail are not accepted, but you need to enter some business official email ID. Understood, guys? So then, how do we get the trial version? How do we get the trial version is, so I am going to provide you trial version for those who confirm their joining, paid fees and confirm their joining. So I'll be providing the trial version, and I will not share it, I will be installing it myself on your machine. Clear, guys? I'll be installing on your machine, right? So now JMeter is an open source tool anyways. Anyone can download it and use it. Now, what is the difference between LoadRunner and JMeter? Okay, let us understand that. Both LoadRunner and JMeter came into the market around 1999. Okay, they came into the market in 1999 or 1998. So that means both these tools are 25 years old tools. Do you know that? They are celebrating silver jubilee now, right? Both these LoadRunner and JMeter came into the market 25 years back, and they will be there for another 25 years for sure. Okay. Many people have this question like, do we have feature or is feature guaranteed for performance testing? As far as software development is there, your testing will be there, right? And as far as testing is there, you will have, all these types of testing, automation testing, performance testing. Maybe manual testing may become obsolete, outdated. But your automation testing and performance testing, security testing, all these type of testing will be there as far as we have software development. Clear, guys? And as far as performance testing is there, you will have feature for LoadRunner and JMeter, right? These are not something which came into the market 5 or 10 years back, but this came into the market in 1999 or 1998, 1998 to 1999, 99. So these are 25 years old tools, right? Now that and main difference between LoadRunner and JMeter is LoadRunner is the most robust tool. LoadRunner is the most robust tool than JMeter. So LoadRunner supports 35 plus protocols. Okay. What is a protocol? We already discussed it. Did we discuss what is a protocol? Yes or no, guys? Did we discuss what is a protocol? Do you know what is a protocol or no?
Yes.
Okay. So what is a protocol?
It's a set of rules defines about the data
Right.
transfer between
So
client.
protocol is set of rules for communication between client and the server. We had already discussed this, guys. You need to remember this, right? So we had already discussed what is a protocol, isn't it? Protocol means set of rules for communication between server and the client. And HTTP is one protocol. HTTPS is another protocol. FTP is another protocol, where FTP stands for file transfer protocol, isn't it? So we have a lot of protocols like this, and LoadRunner supports. Let me show you how many protocols does LoadRunner supports. If I go to file and new script and solution, this is how we create a script. Now observe here. This is the list of protocols supported by LoadRunner, and in each column you have 6 protocols, isn't it? So in that way, how many columns do you have? 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, isn't it? So 6 into 6, 36 protocols. Currently, LoadRunner supports 36 protocols. And you can create performance testing, 36 protocols. Currently, LoadRunner supports 36 protocols, whereas JMeter hardly supports 15 protocols, 10 to 15 only. And 10 to 15 protocols only. And that too, only web protocol. JMeter is the most best tool for only web protocol. It is a best tool for web protocol only, but not for best tool for web protocol and few more, but not for all the 15. Okay, web protocol and few more, but but it is not a best tool for all the protocols, but not for all protocols. Okay, now that is one difference. Another difference is if you want to do performance testing with 5,000 users or 10,000 users, JMeter is fine. Okay. JMeter, and if it is web protocol, JMeter is good. It is a best tool because it is free tool and it is also a best tool. But if you want to do performance testing with lakhs of users, for example, if you want to do performance testing for IRCTC or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, these kind of applications you can't do with JMeter because the user base of those tools, like or WhatsApp, Facebook or WhatsApp. WhatsApp, how many users will WhatsApp has, guys? Worldwide, they'll have crores, right? Not even lakhs, isn't it?
Billion.
Right. So and WhatsApp or Instagram or like Amazon, Flipkart. So these kind of applications, if you want to touch these kind of applications, JMeter is not a right tool for those kind of applications. Okay, it can support only up to few thousands of users. Few thousands of users. User load can be applied on this. Whereas LoadRunner, how much user load does it support? It can support up to 50 lakh concurrent users. 50 lakh concurrent users. This is thousands and this is lakhs, isn't it? So that's why LoadRunner is the most robust tool and most user-friendly tool as well. LoadRunner has very user-friendly features. User-friendly tool, most robust tool means when you are doing some performance testing, JMeter may crash, but LoadRunner hardly crashes. Okay, so LoadRunner tool hardly crashes, but because LoadRunner is a robust tool. Okay, and user-friendly tool, right? And it supports large data sets or large user loads. Like you can simulate lakhs of users, up to 50 lakhs it seems. Of course, I didn't get a chance to test with 50 lakh users with LoadRunner, but like everyone knows that that is the capability of LoadRunner. And most of the product-based companies prefer LoadRunner only. Most of the product-based companies prefer licensed tools only. They don't prefer open source tools. So product-based companies prefer licensed tools only, but not licensed tools only. Okay, but not open source tools. What is meant by product-based companies? You should know the difference between service-based and product-based companies.
Yes.
Right? So service-based companies like Infosys, TCS, TTS, these are all Tech Mahindra. These are all service-based companies. Product-based companies means Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Microsoft, right? They don't prefer, like open source tools like JMeter, Microsoft, or Amazon, Flipkart. Any other examples? Myntra, right? Any other popular examples? Google, right? So these are all product-based companies. They don't prefer, open source tools. They prefer licensed tools like LoadRunner or NeoLoad. LoadRunner or NeoLoad, guys. Okay. So if you want to get a placement or job into a product-based companies, so what? What difference does it make for us? Let us understand what difference does it make for us. Product-based companies are paymasters. If you want very good packages, double package than service-based company, right? So if you can make it into a product-based company, if you can clear interviews in product-based companies, usually I think I had already explained this. For 3 years experience, 10 lakhs is the average package in service-based companies. 10 lakhs in service-based companies. Whereas product-based companies offer 15 to 20 lakhs. 15 to 20 lakhs for same 3 years experience. Okay. So that much difference will be there. Not only about package, the learning curve, the learning curve also will be good in product-based companies. Okay. So, if you if you aim or target a product-based company, and, if you work for at least 2 years sincerely, you will not look back, or, your friends are who are working in service-based companies can't reach your package. Understood, guys?
Yeah.
So what do you say? Do you want to work in a product-based company, or you will adjust with a service-based company? ఏదో ఒకటి జాబ్ కావడం ఇంపార్టెంట్ అనుకుంటా ఫస్ట్.
Product based.
Right? So, and see, the learning curve also will be very good. Let's say, for example, I had worked for both product and service-based companies in my experience. My total is 17 years experience. I worked for 7 companies, out of which, let me go there. So this is a service-based company. This is a service-based. Bank of America was my first product-based company. Again, service-based company. Again, this is a product-based company. This is a product-based company. Again, service-based company. And Axway was my last company, which is again a product-based company. Okay. So, and that is how, just because I am having experience in product-based companies also, I got that package of, like I had shown you my package, I think, in the demo session. Right? So those who missed it, you can watch the demo session. Okay. So Excellent packages are possible. Not only that, okay. So if you work for, see, when I worked for SAP Labs, I'll tell you, what benefits do they provide, right? SAP Labs is one of the wonderful company that I worked for. First of all, no tighter deadlines, no tighter deadlines. Okay. So first of all, in product-based companies, I would like SAP Labs as one example. That is the best example that I can say. Okay. And what are the other benefits? You will have, free cab facility, free cafeteria, absolutely free cafeteria. Okay. Free breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you know, breakfast. All these are free, absolutely free. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then and then you know, usually you'll have lunch from 1 to 2, right? By 4 o'clock, you will get, like they used to give by 4 p.m. They used to give daily fruits. They'll give to your desk. Okay. Fruits and what, not bananas are, not bananas are these kind of fruits. Apple, pears, those kind of fruits. Pears are costly, you know that, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? All these are free. Okay. And not only that, every quarter you will get, every quarter when they announce the results, right? Every quarter they have to announce the results. Every quarter you will get all the employees will get some gifts. Employees will get some gifts based on the results. Okay. Gifts means, not diary or not water bottle, right? So, you know what kind of gifts they will give. They will be costly. And, after completing 5 years, some companies give iPads, iPhones, those kind of, most of the product based companies, on completing, suppose if you complete 5 years in any product based company, they will give these kind of gifts, iPhones or, iPads, those kind of gifts after completing 5 years. Service-based companies will give you one certificate or memento. Okay, that's it, and you'll get gratuity. But product-based companies give these kind of goods. All right, and also employee benefits will be very huge. Employee health benefits. Suppose if you every year you'll have some expenses, right? Like spectacles or or doctor consultation, X-rays and all. They'll give they'll reimburse up to 25,000 to 50,000, 25 to 50,000 every year. Not only you, but your family members also can avail that employee health benefits, health checkup and reimbursements. So these kind of benefits are possible only in product-based companies. If you take Google, like, have you ever visited any Google office?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you have any friends working in Google, ask them to take to their office. So, they will provide free lunch for you also. And then they'll keep, like cages of dry fruits outside the cafeteria or in their office. You can take how much ever you want. Okay. So Google is very famous for that, like, for providing these facilities. And, they will have very flexible work culture. They will not ask you to daily come to office. They'll give you, work from home whenever you want, right? And there are a lot of, facilities like this, work from home, and you'll have a wonderful office, wonderful infrastructure as well, right? So all these, all these are possible with the product-based companies. But like, is it easy to get into product-based companies? Compared to service-based companies, it will be slightly difficult. And also wonderful packages. For example, Salesforce. I know someone who is working for Salesforce in Hyderabad, who is having 10 years experience, and his package is 55 lakhs. 55 lakhs in Salesforce. He'll get, like how much does he get after tax exemption and all this? You'll get, 4 lakhs as a take home salary per month. Per month, guys. This is per month. Okay. 4 lakhs net salary. Wonderful, right? If you get 4 lakhs in Hyderabad, what else do you want per month? With all these benefits. Again, with all these benefits. Okay. So SAP Labs, Salesforce, ServiceNow, these are paymasters now. Those are called as paymasters. They will give you excellent packages. ServiceNow, Microsoft. Okay. So at least remember the difference between product-based company and service-based company. Okay. All right. So now, so this is about, so if you want to get into product-based company, you should have LoadRunner in your skill set. Must and should. They will not prefer, mostly they don't prefer open source tools like JMeter. All right. And now this is how LoadRunner works. This is the LoadRunner architecture. Now, what configuration you require for, that is another important thing, right? So if you want JMeter or LoadRunner, if you want to install LoadRunner or JMeter, let me see what is the user load on this, website now currently. So it is 25,000. Okay. So check this after at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. Sorry, it is already 12:30, right? So yeah, but I observe, sometimes I observe usually in the month end you'll observe more load, not month end, sorry, in the year ending, financial year ending, or you'll observe more load on this application, guys. Now, what is the required configuration for this load runner? Okay, so load runner system requirements. If you Google search for load runner system requirements, okay, so go to the first link admhelp.microfocus.com. So this is 2022. No, I want for 2024. LoadRunner 2024 system requirements. So I'm going to cover LoadRunner 2024. Now, if you see this LoadRunner 2024 system requirements, see this is software version 24.1. Means this is LoadRunner 2024. And now, how much RAM you require, guys? 16 GB is recommended. 8 GB is minimum thing. But recommended one is 16 GB. Why I am explaining this is those who are having 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM, please upgrade it. And if you want to learn LoadRunner, practice LoadRunner efficiently, please upgrade your RAM to at least 16 GB. Anyone having 4 GB RAM on your system now? Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
No one is having 4 GB RAM? How many are having 8 GB RAM?
No.
Sir,
Who
today
all are having 8 GB RAM on your system?
Yeah. Yes, sir. 8 GB.
There is, okay.
Yeah, I have 8 GB in my personal, 32 in my office.
Okay. So, and this is the reason why we cover this, this system configuration in the first session, right? You remember, like I had covered, like how to check your system configuration in the first week, right? This is the reason. So you should know your system configuration. For performance testing, it is very important. Understood, guys? How to check your system configuration, or how to check what is the processor and RAM on your system? You open Task Manager, go to Performance tab, and you see here, CPU. The CPU on my system is, this system is i7. It is i7 processor, right? And it is a 13th generation processor. You should also know which generation processor is it. Windows 11 it shows by default which generation processor is that. And many people get confused with this generation ante i7 and cheptaru, i5, i7 and cheptaru. Those are not generations. Those are processor models. i3, i5, i7, i9, those are processor models from Intel. Okay. So i3, i5, i7, right? And i9, that is the latest one. These are processor models. Those are not generations. Where can you check the processor generation? Means you can, if you go to Task Manager, there it will clearly show which generation processor it is. And for performance testing, you should know this information, everyone. And how to check memory or how to check RAM on your system is, click on memory and you'll see, you see that on my system, the RAM is 16 GB RAM. My laptop, this particular laptop is having 16 GB RAM. And the disk is SSD. It is a 500 GB SSD. Okay. Here you see 512, sorry. It's 512 GB SSD. Okay. Do you see here 512 GB? And this is, WD means Western Digital. That is the company name of my SSD. And one more important thing you need to know is your processor, this processor is, see, observe here, there is one letter at the end of the processor configuration. This U, there is a letter called U, right? So U means this is a power efficient processor. This is not a performance processor. Okay. If it is a performance processor, high speed processor, you will see letter H or P here. So you should know this information if anyone is want to buy a laptop now or in future. You should know whether the processor is a performance processor or a power efficient processor. Understood, guys? If it is performance oriented processor, you will not get power backup. But I had purposefully brought this battery efficient processor. This is a battery efficient processor. You should know this information. You should know all these details, guys. Particularly for performance testing, those who want to pursue career in performance testing, you should know, and one more thing, this, mine is a 12 core logical processor. You see here, it is a 10 core processor and the number of logical processors are 12. You should know this information as well. This is also important. And coming to RAM, you should know what is the available RAM. See, observe here, out of this 16 GB, only 2.6 GB is free now. At this moment, only 2.6 GB is free now, right? I need to upgrade the RAM actually. I'll upgrade the RAM. I'll add another 16 GB RAM. But the problem is I have 2 RAM slots on my laptop. Both the slots are occupied. You see here, slots use 2 of 2. That means if I want to upgrade to 13 GB, I need to remove both the 8 GB RAMs. Right now I have 2 into 8 GB, 16 GB RAM on my laptop. If I want to upgrade, right, I need to replace both of them. That is the issue. But if your system comes with single RAM of 16 GB, then I would have added another 16 GB RAM. Understood or no? ఒక సింగిల్ 16 GB ర్యామ్ ఉన్న సిస్టమ్ కొన్నట్లయితే నేను దెన్ ఐ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ అప్గ్రేడెడ్ ఈజీలీ ఐ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ యాడెడ్ ఈజీలీ అనదర్ 16 GB ర్యామ్. అండర్స్టూడ్ ఆర్ నో? So this is why you should know your system configuration. When you are buying a laptop, you should know which one you have to buy. Clear, guys, everyone? But I could not buy because I wanted Lenovo laptop and I don't have stock of laptops with a single 16 GB RAM. That's why I had to buy. Observe here, when you put your cursor there, you have 2 8 GB RAMs whose speed is 3200 MT by S. What is meant by that MT by S? Anyone? Million transfers. MT for million transfers. Okay. So measures the amount of data. MT by S measures the amount of data that can be transferred per second. Right? So this is MT by S is the measure of amount of data that can be transferred per second, right? The higher it is, the faster your machine will be. Clear, guys? So you should know this information, basic information. These are computer fundamentals and you should know this information. I'll take a pause here. Any queries, guys? So before that, if anyone is having 8 GB RAM, now it is better to upgrade if possible to 16 GB. So if you are already having 16 GB, well and good. Your system will be butter smooth. But if you are having 8 GB RAM, please upgrade it. And if you want to, practice LoadRunner very well, because so sometimes we need to launch both VUgen controller and analysis component at the same time, right? When you are learning LoadRunner, once we complete scripting and we go to the test executions at that time, we may need to use this VUgen. Oh, controller, I don't have it installed, guys. I need to install it on my machine. So we need to, run VUgen controller and analysis. I have that complete full LoadRunner is set up on another laptop. Okay, I have it and I have another laptop also on which I am having a high-end processor. That processor is H processor. It is a high-end processor. So I'll be using that laptop for for LoadRunner. Okay, right? Any queries, guys? I'll take a pause here. Any queries? Are you with me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. How long we can use the community person?
Good question. Very good. Who is this? Kawasni?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, good question. Guys, you should ask, you should get these kind of questions, guys. If you are focusing on the subject, right, you will get these kind of questions. So community edition, previously they used to provide unlimited, but right now they are providing 1 year, they will provide, 1 year trial version. 1 year. Okay. Right now. Right.
Okay.
So you'll get 1 year for free. You can use it for free for 1 year. Only limitation is you can run only 50 user test, not more than that. That is one limitation. See, we just now discussed that LoadRunner supports 50 lakh users, right? But with trial version you cannot go up to 50 lakhs. You can go only up to 50 users. That is a limitation. But JMeter, you don't have any limitation. You can go up to 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, but not in lakhs. Right? So LoadRunner trial version, LoadRunner community edition, let me write it. LoadRunner community edition provides 1 year trial version, but only limitation is 50 users only. You can go up to, you can do a load test with only 50 users. That is the limitation. But 1 year is very good period, right? So some tools provide only free trial versions provide only 15 days or 1 month, but LoadRunner provides 1 year trial version. Wonderful, right? And in free trial version, only limited set of protocols are supported. Only limited set of protocols are supported. We call that as license bundles. We'll discuss it later. Okay, what protocols are supported by community edition? We'll discuss it later. So for now, please upgrade your RAM. I'll close the session here for today. Those who are having 8 GB RAM, please upgrade it to 16 GB. Right? So I will be starting, but so please do that by this in the next 3 days, because I will be starting LoadRunner scripting only on Jan 2nd. I will be starting. Okay. Tomorrow I will be giving an introduction, and there are few more fundamental concepts that we need to discuss, like virtual users. All these concepts need to be discussed. Authentication and authorization. This is one important concept for testing. Not only testing, this is important for software, any software development, whether you are into development or testing. Authentication and authorization is one important concept. And there are few more basic concepts that we need to discuss, like what is meant by virtual user, what is meant by transaction, what is response time. Once we complete this, I will be starting LoadRunner on 2nd Jan only. So meanwhile, please upgrade the RAM. Okay. We'll stop it here. Any queries, guys, before we close today's session? Sorry, session got extended today because of starting late. Any queries before we close today's session?
No queries, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir. For that Urban Pro, we need to click on the link, then give the mail ID and password. Is that enough?
Click on join class. First time, when you get a message or a mail, right, there will be something called join class or something. Please try that. Maybe they changed it that, previously we used to get an email even though we did not click on join class, but we are not sure whether if there is any change from their side. So click on join class and see if you guys see that email.
So after clicking, hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
After clicking the link, so do we need to log in, or what is the process?
Yeah, if you click on login, if you click on join class, right, it will ask you to create an account. So using that account, you can log in.
Okay, by providing our mail ID and password.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, then. Any other queries before we close today's session?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm passing the recording, guys, then. Okay.